playing drums with my guitar. I'm a bit rusty, but I'm actually playing drums with the guitar, latency free, and in this video I'm going to show you how I'm doing it. Spoiler, it's with this, and how it works. No, it's with this. Hello fellow guitar geeks! This is an interesting, exciting video for me because I'm bringing you something that I haven't seen much of on the YouTube guitar circuit, and it's something new-ish, it's something very, very geeky and gadgety, and if you're thinking that's too much for you, don't click away because it's an acoustic guitar, and don't click away because it's something fandangled. Keep watching because I think there might be something for a few of us in this video, or at least in this product, the OMB one-man band. This is the OMB device, and it's sat on the guitar. It's attached to the pins or to the strings, and also it's got some copper strips running down the side, sending it signals. So it's basically a note detector, detecting which notes and which strings you're playing. Kind of like a MIDI pickup, but better. This is not a review of the guitar itself, but I will just talk about it. It does everything it needs to do to enable you to play live. So it's got a undersaddle pickup, and you can go out to the PA or whatever. It's got a built-in tuner, built-in 3-band EQ, and a phase switch, and all that sort of stuff. It's got a changeable battery. It's a fairly nice feeling guitar, but no more. So perfect for covers band shows, and perfect for times where you're not recording the actual guitar itself. Even though you could record the guitar, that's not the strength of this guitar. The strength of the guitar is being nice to hold, nice to play, but again, nothing more than that. It's all right. No problems there. It is a review, of course, of the unit itself, which is controlling, or I'm controlling, with that. I'm not even using my right hand. So what it's doing is it's sending, it's like having a little friend with me, like a naughty little boy. Or naughty little dog. It's sending MIDI signals, or via Bluetooth, it's sending MIDI signals to control MIDI software. Imagine the possibilities. On the guitar, I've got 2 copper strips down the side of the neck. You can see them just here, or you might be able to see them. I'll get some kind of close-up picture in there for you so you can definitely see them properly. The fact that you can't see them very well is probably good because that means that it's actually not that intrusive as a guitar player. The thing that you can probably notice is this thing here. It's the brain, the controller, the thing that's all this information is being sent to, and then sending the information via Bluetooth to the app on your iPhone or iPad. Currently, it's only iOS, so that might be a factor if you want to buy this. So if you haven't got an iOS system, then at the moment, and people always say this at the moment because they're always saying Android next, at the moment it's iOS only. So on here, just at the top there, that's the light that tells me that it's on, and there's also, I can press the button one time again, and that'll take it from chord mode into solo mode, which you can see by the little green light. If I press it again, it'll take it back into chord mode. To get the device working, you need the OMB app, which is available for free or included in the price with the OMB device. You can go to the App Store, just download it, and then you're ready to connect and calibrate the device. To connect, what you need to do is to hold down this button just here for 3 seconds until that red light starts flashing. When that red light is flashing, then you need to go to the app and go to Bluetooth, and there's OMB guitar not connected. Press it and it will connect. Before you can actually start making music, you need to calibrate the unit with your guitar, and OMB recommend doing that whenever you change strings or anything like that. I recommend doing it whenever you start a gig or before you gig, when you set up or start a recording session, just in case, because even though the calibration system seems to be rock solid, you never know, and it's so quick that you might as well do it, just like tuning a guitar. So very briefly, I'm going to show you how to calibrate the OMB with your guitar. You can calibrate the guitar using your finger, but I found better results using a capo, but not like this. This one is my 𝗕𝗓𝗓 one, which is my favorite one for playing with, but it's not the best one for doing the calibration. The best one I found is this one, which is a cheap knockoff of the, is it Kaiser that made the original? But it's that clamp triggery one. And I'll show you why now. To calibrate, all you have to do is go to the app and go to the cheeseburger. First, check the guitar's connected. It is. Then go to calibration, go to start, and OMB recommend you lay the guitar down on a tabletop or something so it's nice and stationary, so it doesn't move. I'm going to try it not doing that, but by holding the guitar. And you'll see that green line, when it's calibrated, goes to the next one. And all you do is move it up the frets like this with the capo and wait for the red line of the next fret. So I thought this was a bit tricky at first, but it's actually super simple. And I will find out why I'm using this style of capo in just a second. There we go. When we get to the 12th fret, you'll notice that the capo barely makes it, and my small tiny clip-on one certainly wouldn't. Alright, that's done. Now we need to calibrate by pressing the 5th fret on the E string and just holding it. Remember, you don't actually need to play anything, you don't need to make a sound because it's not measuring sound. And then when you're finished, it'll go back to that screen, so you can press close, and now your guitar is calibrated. And if I play something, in fact, I don't even need to play it, you can just finger the chords, and it knows what chord I'm about to play. This is why it can actually predict what you're going to play. Look at that! Let's see if I can trick it. So here's a G. Oh, it's a C major 7. Oh, I did it! Okay, so that's how you calibrate the guitar, and as you can now see, this one is used to my playing, and we can get away and play some music. One thing I haven't mentioned so far is the fact that you can't do open strings as far as I know. So if I'm playing this riff, there's no way to get it to play that final note. Also, you have to change your playing. You have to take your fingers off when you don't want to play. You also have to change your playing style. So if I'm going to play like a guitar, it doesn't work. You have to change your playing style just a little bit. So. The only time that isn't the case is if you're playing chords and you get some nice sort of string arrangement, which I'll demonstrate for you now. One thing I need to stop doing is pressing the strings down when I talk, because that's what I normally do when I'm making these videos to stop the strings vibrating. But every time I do that, of course it thinks I'm trying to play a note. So that's not the fault of the unit, that's my fault for pressing strings down as I normally would. Now the sounds that you can get out of this thing is only limited by the sound banks that you own. So I've been plugging into my iPad, or rather Bluetoothing into my iPad, and using Sample Tank. And the sounds are really nice. However, they're also they are limited, you know, so you can get some really cool string stuff from like Native Instruments with Contact or third parties. Also, because it outputs MIDI, or rather the app does, and everything is MIDI, you can control any MIDI device with this unit. So you could even control lighting with it, because that's DMX and MIDI. You could control mixer settings if you really wanted to. You could control a drum programmer, so a sequencer, which is essentially what it's doing. It's just sending these program changes or control changes to make these sounds. And anything you want you can control with MIDI, you can control with this. That opens up a whole world of possibility that I'm not going to go into this video. Just use your imagination. If you're not into MIDI, then just do a bit of Googling and discover what you can control with MIDI. And I'm so excited by that, I can barely speak. I don't use MIDI a lot as a guitar player, but in a live show, in some of the past shows I've done, which were pure entertainment shows, We had lighting, we had samples, we had synths and everything going on. This could have actually helped make my job easier and therefore making money more fun, because I could just work on the show and concentrate on having a good time. Ah, fluffed it. I'm adding the vibrato with my fingers. That's doing nothing. Or is it? I don't know if you can set it to do that, but in this video I'm not going to go into that. I'm just going to play Star Wars again. Notice I don't even have to use my right hand. I'm doing the vibrato again. It doesn't need to be done. It's more of a show than it is a sound thing. Looking at the iPad, if I play a D, it knows it's a D. If I play a G, it knows it's a G. You might notice it knew it before I actually played it, because it's not listening to what I'm playing, it's seeing what I'm playing, or feeling and seeing. And that's pretty cool, which means that the latency is non-perceivable, because it knows what I'm about to play, because as I put down that finger, it knows that's a C note, and there we go. It knows, it kind of guessed that it was going to be a C major 7, which it was, and there's a C major. Can it do C7? There we go. Sorry, I know this is like the music theory and the technology behind it is, well, not about the technology, but the music theory is pretty obvious. But I'm so excited about a little gadget that knows what I'm about to play. It feels like I'm in a songwriting team. Speaking of which, the app is a very important side of what comes with the OMB. But before we do, let's just do the solo mode. So I'm pressing that one time. There, it flashes that green, which means it's in solo mode. And if I press that on the app to solo, it's getting a little signal here. If I turn it up, that sounds like a telephone. What I should say is that the sounds in the OMB app are not great. So OMB have recommended to use Sample Tank. Sample Tank from 𝗦𝗢𝗙𝗧𝗏 is available as a little free version, the custom shop version, or you can buy the packs to get more sounds. I'm having far too much fun with that. That was a surprise. So much cool stuff. Forgot, it doesn't actually pick up your right hand, so if you want to play the note twice, you have to finger it twice. Also, that demonstrates how quick it can pick. Weird as a guitar player getting used to not having to use your right hand. So you can of course use your right hand and play acoustic guitar along with it, or there's the electric version, but you don't have to, and that's weird. Hopefully you're seeing I'm having fun, because I'm having to restrain that fun in order to make a video for you. Let's talk about the backing tracks that you can control. This is one of the major selling points of the OMB device, because it allows you to not only control but create backing tracks on the fly. So it'll follow your chord changes. You can tell it what tempo, you can change the style, and any backing track that you want to play along with. So if you're playing chords, it will follow. It'll make that band follow your chords. And because of the non-latency, it will follow you as you're playing. Let me demonstrate. So that's the beat of 70s style, like disco-y, funky backy track. I can change the style by going there, and you can buy lots, it comes with some. So if I hide the store patterns, that's what you can download for free. We're not going to do Hotel California because I don't want to get sued, but we can do blues. The app is on the iPad down there. I keep looking at it. I can't believe that it's doing what it's doing and as fast as it can do it. Yeah, well done, OMB. I guess the most important thing to ask is, does it work? And in my experience, yes, it does. I had to be patient in the beginning. It is not something you just plug in and it works straight away. But it's not far from that as long as you A, read the manuals, and B, really, really pay attention to the videos that OMB have made. They've made some tutorial videos that are on their YouTube channel. There's a link below in this video description to get to those. Make sure you watch those, because just turning it on and expecting it to make sound isn't going to work. However, OMB are very aware of that, and they've helped you out by writing a manual that's actually quite humorous, and the videos are really good as well. So check those out. Don't use this video as a guide on how to use this system, although I've included some of those facts, hopefully, for you. The thing that surprised me most and pleased me most was the fact that it connected to the apps via Bluetooth instantly. Like, there was no wondering if it would work. I was really lacking in faith about this, but as soon as you turn it on, as soon as you select the Bluetooth in the app, it connects. So in my experience, it is absolutely flawless in that department. There is, of course, the accuracy and the speed. There is no latency. As advertised by OMB, I did not experience latency at any point. Any problems I did experience were when my fingerings were not exactly as they should be. So that was on me. And sound-wise, no latency. So as long as I'm actually playing the chords that I'm trying to play, or the notes that I'm trying to play, then the apps and the sample type that I used delivered instantly. So there's no lag. It's not like a MIDI pickup. It is latency free. And although it's not ideal because of all the gubbins that you have to have, it absolutely works. And I think it might be a step towards actually having this sort of system built in to a guitar that's a little bit more sleek and a little bit more sexy than this, because this doesn't get in the way, but you have to adapt your playing style to it. So if I were to sort of do some muting, I would normally have my hand a little bit further back on the bridge pins. And of course, because the unit's there, you can't do that. So there is a compromise, but if this is a unit you're looking for, if the job that you do with music requires you to have a backing band, or would be improved by you having some sort of backing track that you can just jam with, then I think that's acceptable. As a player, you can play around it. It's another tool. It's another reason. It's another reason to learn to play in a slightly different way. And if you have to adjust your playing to gain the advantage of having what you have, if you get one of these, then so be it. If you're a player that doesn't want to adjust their playing style, then I don't think this unit is for you. Speaking of who this is for, we have to talk about the build quality. You have some copper tape running down the neck on both sides. You have some cables inside the guitar. If you've built it yourself, you'll have something running across the top. And then we get to the actual unit itself. It's plastic. It's built well in the sense that it's lightweight and it's sturdy. However, it's not built perfectly. If you are in a wedding band, or you sing at a wedding, at a ceremony, and you want something to back you, some strings or something, or you're going to take really good care of what you do, or you're a comedian and you want backing tracks on a stage, that's all cool. if you want to play in a sweaty, dirty punk rock show every night, it's not gonna work. It's going to break after a few gigs. You do have to take care of it. You have to be careful with it. I could trash it and say it's made out of plastic and it's rubbish. It isn't. It is made out of plastic, but it is a tool that you have to respect if you're serious about using it. If it's adding something to your show, then take care of it. That being said, if I were adding it to my show, I would want it built a little bit better. This thing here is not ideal. Let's go to that camera. So, being plastic, you can take it off. I'm not going to take it off because I'll probably have to recalibrate it. Oh, I am going to take it off. Oh, here we go. Right. Take it off like that. And then you've got the unit there itself, which again, this is how I would charge it. I wouldn't charge it attached to the guitar. Inside, this is all, it's solid. It's no problem at all. It's not going to come off at all. What might come off is this top piece here, because that is plastic, and with your playing it could fly off. So I'm hoping that OMB have some kind, come on Andy, some kind of, there we go, of a solution for that. So version 2, or whatever version this is, a future version, I would love to see built a little bit better. So far, the plus points outweigh the minus points. One thing that does suffer is the quality of the backing tracks it provides. They sound a little bit old style, like an old MIDI unit sometimes. I'd rather have a real acoustic guitar and those style of backing tracks than the other way around with a backing track, acoustic guitar or electric guitar. But OMB have said that they are working on this and they're hoping to improve the quality of the tracks at some point in the future. Don't know if or when that's going to happen, but I can certainly say that would be a good idea. That being said, if you set your own backing tracks up with your own samples, like something from Native Instruments with Kontakt or something like that, you could really, really push Kontakt and the sounds really, really high. So what OMB are offering is passable for an entertainment unit, but certainly not if you're rather picky about the sounds that you have. There's also a second app called 𝗬𝗎𝗓, which is free, and it's a backing track player app that works and is developed by OMB. It's slightly better than the backing tracks in the OMB app itself, according to OMB. And you even have this, which is the foot switch pedal. So you can set these buttons to how you like, and this you can have it like play, stop. In the app, you can have different sections. So you can have something that's a little quieter for an intro, or you can have something that's a bit busier for a chorus, and you can also have drum fills, which you can program with this foot switch, I guess. The foot switch itself is sturdy but plastic, and again, just like the OMB device itself, it isn't very rock and roll, but this is a lot sturdier than the device on the guitar. So this one, underneath the careful feet of a skilled musician, would be absolutely fine. Battery life is, of course, a huge factor, and it came slightly charged for me, so it wasn't discharged, it wasn't fully charged, it was about a third charged. I charged it for an hour, and it's lasted almost 3 hours now. So I've been playing it for about 3 hours, and that's how long it's lasted. I also played it yesterday and was messing around with it, so I didn't charge it from yesterday. So in fact, it's lasted quite a long time. For any gig, it should last the entire length of the gig, although it does do quick charging, so in about 20 minutes you can get enough to get through at least another hour. And OMB have said that if you have an issue with recharging the battery, or the battery starts to not charge anymore, to contact them and they'll help you with battery replacement. That's a good sign, because things that have built-in batteries certainly need some method of making them future-proof, because you can't just change the battery in it. Or rather, you probably can, but it's not like going to your local supermarket and buying a AA. There's something else going on inside of there. Ultimately, this is a great tool if you're in a band that exists to make money, like a covers band, a weddings band, something like that, some sort of form of entertainment, cruise ships. If you're in a band to do some experimental sounds, it could also be cool. I think it could be very cool, but you're going to have to take care of it. As I mentioned just previously, it is solid, but it's not solid enough to be rock and rolled every night. If you're the kind of musician who can take care of their gear and make sure that it comes back in A1 condition, of which I am not at a rock show, then of course it's going to be fine. If you're playing at weddings and stuff, which I also do, I would happily take this and very gently play along. I love the fact that it just comes off on the screen with the chords. I've still got the iPad down there. Oh, it's a G major. Yeah, I love this thing. I love the fact that it's the beginning of something as well. So if you can imagine in a few years' time when the next version comes up, then we could have something that's a little bit more conspicuous, a little bit more hidden inside the guitar, a little bit either not better built, but certainly better hidden. And then we'd have something that would be freaking awesome. If you got this far, then you're probably really interested. And if you're on the fence about buying it for your covers band or whatever, I keep saying covers band, but for whatever band that would require this tool, then go for it. It's quite a lot of money, but it could change. You know, if you're an acoustic guitar solo player, it's an instant backing track. That could make you some money. Congratulations, you've made it to the end of the video. To prove that you did, when you leave your comment down below telling me what you thought of the OMB system, then please also include the phrase laser beams. And that'll let me know that you did make it to this part of the video. I thank you for it. Before you leave, please go and click the thumbs up button so more people get to see the video. Also, thank you to OMB for sending out their guitar with this wonderful unit in it. I've had more fun than I thought I was going to have. Videos over there from me. Otherwise, I will see you at some point in the future. Cheers. Bye-bye.